YouTube family, what's good? What's good? Hey, welcome to Trauma Drinker, and I'm your, what do you call it, a host? I'm not exactly sure, but let's just call it welcome family. Welcome family. It's been a heck of a ride. It has truly, nonetheless, been a heck of a journey in terms of just living life, growing, and learning to evolve. Truly learning to evolve. And this is something that I've been seeking for a while. Right? Hey, what's that, Romeo? What's that, Rome? Getting to this point where, as my uncle told me, bringing in 2017, at its essence, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, some people, not all, some people are sick and tired and they still sit on that nail and they're just howling. Ooh. But some people do something. And no matter if it took you one try, 100 tries, or 1,000 tries, I support you in making changes in your life. And for me, what that begins with, at the essence, there's a lot of things. Right? There's a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. That one step for me begins with this. It's gotta go. Before I can ever address the trauma, I gotta get the drinking under control. So listen. I don't want to make. I'm not gonna make this a long video. I've made videos, and some are maybe 5 minutes, some are 40 minutes, and I've been on a bender here since the 12th. It's the 22nd, so that's 10 days. Not bad given many things, but ultimately, what I want to do with you here tonight, YouTube family, is get rid of this bottle. I'm looking to kill it, right here, right now with you all. Just chat it up, Like I said, it's not going to be a long one at all. And make it happen. It's not doing nothing for me, And a lot of times, I'm going to just let it out the heart, off the rip. Just try to be so perfect. And perfectionism is it's not real. And if you wanted to aspire to something perfect, it takes a lot of repetition. I played for championship teams, and it's a lot of repetition. It's not something you just show up and miraculously do one time. And I know that may be stating the obvious in a lot of ways, but I'll tell you the one most important thing. I can't even say the most important thing because I still need to kind of weigh that out, right? But no doubt, without a doubt, one of the top things is moderation isn't a thing. This isn't something I could say, hey, it's my boy's birthday. Hey, my homegirl. Hey, my sister just had a baby. Hey, my homeboy's daughter is having her, how do you say it in Espanol? Quinceañeras. Having a sweet 16, it doesn't work like that. I've nearly lost my life. I got a gash on the back of my head. I got a missing tooth right here. That's just off impact. Not to mention the residuals like lack of self-care where other things come into play. But again, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm experimenting, and I'm not going to quit until my time is up here. That's the saying that you don't know what you got until it's gone. Let's enjoy this with me, y'all. This is a half pint. I usually don't even drink half pints, but I had a pint that I bought today. I would go grab the receipt and show you, but I'll show that. It's not important right now. You don't gotta get it right. You just gotta get it going. Real talk, real spit. No kidding. And as I'm indulging in this poison, I'm trying to. I mean, let's take 5 steps backwards and take 2 steps forward. you know, just this is gonna drain your body. But I really wanted to do this. I've been wanting to do this, and I'm starting to stop, and perfectionism will get me. And like I said, this trauma is called trauma drinker. Look, I wasn't even supposed to wear this shirt today, y'all. Whatever, not a big deal. I don't think it's gonna break any rules or laws that I got on that shirt. But it is time for a change, a big one. Right, imagine that you went from a team, right? In high school sports, we get 9 games a season. Right? Imagine you go from a team that's on average 7-2 in the regular season to a team that's 2-7 in the regular season. There's going to be some big changes, and I know that it's better to take things gradually a lot of times, but it's a big deal to me. So I just want to give a couple tributes. I would like to give a tribute to my parents. My father, may he rest in peace, lost him to suicide day after Christmas 2018. Lost my mother to mental illness at a very young age, most of my life. My mother's a strong woman, but sometimes, people just... Makes me think of the J. Cole song, right? Look, I'm sorry for the shaking, but he says, the good news is, brother, you came a long way. The bad news is, brother, you went the wrong way. Now, who says it's the wrong way is all relative, but, my mother did the best that she could, regardless of the impact that it left on her children. I believe she did the best that she could, and it took me years of making mistakes, hence this, hence other things, where I realized that she was just human. As a mother, I almost idolized her. I looked up to, I idolized her, and I thought I could save her as her son. And to a degree, I can do the best that I can as a son at this point, but I didn't see things clearly. And even now, as I'm making progress, looking back on how I thought I knew everything, now moving forward, I know I don't know everything. It's humbling. It's humbling. Okay, so I would imagine 5-10 years from now, I'm going to look back on this day like, whoa, I had that one all misconstrued. But from the bottom of the bottom, it's just time to start this journey. Raw, unfiltered, uncut. I mean, the word is raw. Raw. And I gave a shout out to my parents, and on this day, I would like to give a shout out to my brother from another mama. Call me Harvard. Lost him on this day. When I met him, he was pretty chill dude, and life got him. And lost him to a homicide. And it was harder to watch his mother grieve her loss than it was to bury him. That says a lot. And I lost him to this. Not just ethanol specifically, although this was in his system at the time of his murder, amongst many other substances, but gambling, bad friendship. And I'm just going to do the best that I can at this point. Alright, you check this timer out. Yeah, I could be a little OCD about these things, but 3 years ago at this time, according to the documents that we have, bro had been gone for 30 minutes exactly. Said the shots went off at 10:29. That's what the report says. And all because it's just, not all because, but how many people could I help? That could have been me. That could have been my boy. That's what I'm curious to know. So, with all that being said, and I know it's just a rant, and that's what stops me. I'm like, dude, you go live, and it's not even live. I shoot the videos and then I upload them before the night's over, And I'm just like, well, you didn't get the description right, or you didn't even do a description, let alone a title. One guy subscribed to my channel. He said, "Hey," and he was just rooting me on. I wasn't mad at all. It was bittersweet. He's like, "Dude, you should, I found your video with no title. Make some titles," and I watched it. We can do this, especially without the substances in our system. And I know that it's not easy per se, but if we can look to other ways to get things done, like community, like the gym, whatever that means to you. I don't care if the exercise for you is a walk around the block for X amount of time, or hitting the gym and really getting busy. Everything's relative. I'm just going to start where I am as I am. I always try to launch like a rocket, headed to the moon. Well, some things we just gotta get out of the bed. How about we start there? Let alone launch a rocket to the moon. And that's a little unrealistic if you've been hooked on drugs a very, 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 very long time. Well, even though that's relative, right? 15, 16 years, and 85% of that time not even realizing it, to think you're going to launch a rocket into the moon. Yeah. Do the best I can. I want to show the way that it's possible. Lead from the front, lead by example, and pay it forward. Because I believe that someday I would like, I don't believe it. Yeah, I do. What's the word? I want to say I don't believe it, I know it. But that's the same thing. Belief is a firm disposition that I would like a spouse. Whether we have kids or she has kids, but I would like a spouse. And maybe some youngins running around. Rather I get involved and she already has infants, toddlers, or we start from scratch. I know that that won't happen for me, and if it does, it won't happen in a healthy way. With this, it's gotta go. I experimented with it the last 2 years. Annie Grace says, "Hey, I'm not gonna pull out the books right now. I don't have time for that. I didn't prepare for that, and I don't want to bore you to that." But she says, if you do turn around and go back to alcohol, do it for science. Meaning, be a scientist of your own life and begin to recognize the cause, the effects, etc. With this, it doesn't do anything for me. It gives me this little boost of adrenaline and then crash out. Like, yeah, man, let's go 150 miles an hour to hit a brick wall. Whoa, 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 whoa. I think I'd rather do the speed limit and not hit any walls. Well, I've been doing that for a long time, and by the grace of God, I'm still here. Got buddies that are here who didn't start out nearly as fast as I was. And so with that, I am going to leave you all. I love you. I'm just going to start this thing off as the best as I can. Picked up some products today that I feel like will, not trying to have shiny object syndrome, but picked up some products that I believe will truly help me on this journey, and so I don't have to feel so overwhelmed. But then if I buy too many products, that'll get overwhelming. So it's one step at a time, and make something shake, right? That's the proper way to say it, okay? But if you from my hood, make something shake. Cuz over here, my Lonnie said, let's make some shake. That mean get busy, bro. Now you take your dog for a walk when it's -5. Gracie, Marnie, get busy. What was my other roommate's dog name? How could I forget it? Besides the point, I love you all. Much love. Let's get busy. Don't want to work at a diner my whole life. Don't want to work on a golf course my whole life. Don't want to be just petty hustling my whole life. I want to make a difference. Passion for the profits. Not just profits for profits. I love you all. And I want to finish this with you. And I'm gonna smash it. I ain't even gonna take my time. Let's sip. This ain't no sipping session. This should just get smacked. R.I.P. my boy Quan. Didn't? Long live him. I get some profit, so I'm definitely investing in just having a day where we just relax. You know, ideally nobody gotta pay. Just make a donation to the family. Make a donation to the Hardwicks. Everything else on me. Cause my boy used to look out for me hard. I looked out for him too. It was a mutual affair. That's about, it's maybe, how much is that, you think? Hey, 175 milligrams, 2.5 shots. Even though I drink it raw, I do have a chaser. Not all the time, but when I'm drinking fast like this, so look at that. I thought I was gonna put the Tito's cap in the, and I got work tomorrow, y'all. So I said I was gonna stop, but I didn't. Don't stop believing. I always try to be so perfect in these videos, and I say, man, just have a blog. You know, like, what if you only had 3, 9, 6 months to live? You wouldn't make it so, oh, I need to be so intentional and so perfect and so, like, I get it once you start building a business. Like, yes, things have to be very intentional, you know what I mean? We're looking to build a business here, but for me right now, this is more like just a personal project. Sharing my story, sharing my ups, sharing my downs. Some of them, I give you a up. I'm still alive. I'm not dead or in jail. I got 24 hours. It's free, man. You know, I've got food right here that I just purchased. I didn't eat fried shrimp, steak sandwiches. You know how many people are they don't have the money to do it. Maybe they had the money, but they in jail, so they can't do it, or they not here. They passed away. They in a grave. They in the dust. What can I sum this up with? One big key thing. Forget being perfect. Right? Like right now it's 11:07. I keep saying, "Oh, let's end the video at 11:11." When you take society and a lot of the things that are going on in society, you add yourself and what you've experienced as a human being, as an adult, or young adult for that matter, and you take the substance of alcohol, you're really dealing with something very, very interesting. And it's a big spectrum, like a rainbow. And I don't even mean the colors, I just mean the range. I guess the colors could be range too, but I'm just looking at the, not even the, I think I deserve to make a woman smile. I think I deserve to be a woman. I mean, the music to a woman's ears. It's not just about spouse and that, that. It's just like a community. When we get off work from a long days of work, at least some of us, I'm sorry if you don't, and I'm not sorry, but you deserve it. You gotta go get it, just to come home. And even for me, when I had nobody, my pillow, my best friend. And sometimes I ain't take care of my pillow. My pillow all beat up, need a new pillowcase. Don't stop the fight. I always thought I would start my YouTube channel with this great old shebang, with wanting to drink. Like, oh, I guess I'm gonna plan out the greatest escape and then film it, and then it never happened. This is me, y'all. Ladies, fellas. It ain't working for me. And that's just alcohol, you know. Pull up with some of my buddies, they got there's a bunch of other things going on, but I know that there's some underlying trauma for sure, you know. There's a lot of abandonment in my family, a lot of excuse me. Excuse me. My allergies are a little acting up this year. They sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. But I remember 2013. Was that 13? That might have been 2014. They got really rough. But anyway, this year is really interesting. Anytime I'm in enclosed spaces, I get congested. I go outside, I'm fine. But there I go with my OCD. I know I don't know you. If you're watching this channel, I want you to know I love you. And I'm in for you. And to be here for you, I'm going to be here for myself and just show you how much I believe. Because I haven't been here for myself in a very long time. 11-11. Welcome to the finish. This the last dance.